Luke on Sherman TV here with Chris Millington. So 2-0 defeat. What are your thoughts on the game?
Very disappointed, Luke. Very, disappointed. I think it's a real disappointment after the work the lads have put in the last few weeks and really worked hard to earn positive results, and that was lacking today. I couldn't put my finger on it during the game, whether it was anxiety, whether it was sloppiness, whether it was a little hangover from Wednesday night, travelling all that way back from Forest Green. But we didn't get going, and we didn't present enough of a challenge to Southend. I thought Southend were good, and I know they will grow. Their momentum will grow over the course of the season, because I rate the manager and his staff. I think they're very good, and they'll get better as the season goes on. But I didn't think we did enough to pose them enough problems today, and they won it, playing within themselves to a degree, because we weren't good enough.
Just looking at that opening period, pretty even. We both had chances, but it was the visitors that got the opener.
Yeah, and the narrative is, if we take our chances, it's a different game, because nobody wants to be 1-0 down at the Shea, because they know how tough we can be in those moments. But the fact is, we didn't take our chances. Even if we had, we didn't deserve to be in the lead at that stage. We weren't playing well enough, and it's my job to focus on performance, because ultimately, if the performance is right, then the result takes care of itself more often than not. And today, the performance was wrong. It was very poor. So that's where all our attention will go, is how we can get more out of the lads, how we can get our performances back up to a standard that deserves to win games, because today we didn't perform well enough to deserve anything out of it.
Looking at the second half, never really got going when we came back out, and then disappointing to concede from the corner.
Yeah, both goals were a disappointment. Turning over possession so soft for the first goal in the middle of the park, really poor. Characteristic probably of us a few weeks ago, and then we did we came together, and the lads showed some grit and determination, and we started picking up results. But that was a little flashback to a few weeks ago, weak in the middle of the park, and they counter through us too easily and score. And then obviously a set piece, again a little flashback to when we were weaker, less well organised, less grit and determination, and we've thought we turned a corner with that. But yeah, the message to the lads going into the game was about not becoming complacent, because we'd picked up a couple of good results, and we felt we performed well at Forest Green and got a creditable draw. But it can easily turn into complacency, and I think part of the lads' development as a young group, bored of saying it, but as a young group, they've got to learn these things, and they've got to learn from the fact that they haven't cracked anything. Nothing gets won in November or going into December. We don't earn a playoff place at this stage of the season. We earn it over the course of the season, and we make sure we put ourselves in the frame come the end of the season. So it's another moment they've got to learn from. I think we've got to look at ourselves as staff, and looking at what we've got on the bench at the moment, and they came on and had an impact on Wednesday night at Forest Green, but I didn't have a great deal of confidence that we would have enough to spark the rest of the lads into action tonight. So I think maybe we need to look at what we can do to try and give ourselves some better options, because we don't have a great depth of squad, and obviously there are one or two who are struggling to get back from injury.
As you obviously made those changes, tweak things tactically, but credit to Southend, they saw the game out very well.
Yeah, and listen, I don't want it to become about me telling you how good Southend are and what a good set of staff they are and what a good group of players, and they are. That's facts. Look how well they did as a club under some real serious adversity. They've lost some very important players in the shape of Cardwell and Kensdale, and they're just finding their feet at the moment. But they're a good, well coached, well managed team, and they will climb the table over the course of the season. but that's, that there are plenty of teams of that nature in this league, and that can't be an excuse. We've got to be better, and if we're going to get beat, which we will do, teams will beat us, and Southend are one of those teams who are capable of beating other teams in the division, but they should have to really work to do it. And today we didn't put up enough of a fight. There wasn't enough of that grit and determination that's been present over the last few weeks, and it leaves me sorely disappointed and very frustrated, and disappointed that we've not given the fans something to get behind today, because we haven't.
Of course, up next, obviously Leeds United youth team, very different prospect against them.
Yeah, I can't really think about that at the moment. It's going to take a bit of work to process what's behind such a poor performance today. Who needs to come into the team, who needs to come out of the team, and how we can build. Obviously, we've got Leeds United, and then we've got the FA Trophy, and I've got a lot of thinking to do, and I need to see a reaction again out of the players, because it's not who we are. That it's not what we're about. It's not what we want to be, and they've fallen short today. So yeah, I've got to find a blend that'll get a reaction that puts in a performance on Tuesday night.
Thank you.
Thanks, Luke.